And good evening, iRacers. Welcome to episode 17 of How Is That Guy a WCS Driver? We are at Road Atlanta Short in Radical. Gone from the longest track of the season last week at Bathurst, where we were taking 2 minutes to get around the lap, to the shortest of the season, where we're doing 51 52 second laps. This is my third race of the week. Not been a good start so far. We stuffed it all on the first race and had a car contact pretty much off the start into turn 1 in the second race, putting me out. So we just want to try and get a nice clean race, really. The front two here are going to disappear, and it could be fairly interesting between myself and Sam in fourth.
Left side. Clear.
Okay, well, we managed to get further than the last race at least, so just try not to get too tangled up with the leaders here.
Still there. Looks clear, clear, clear.
I think Richard perhaps has got some damage, potentially. I wondered if he just had a slowdown penalty initially, but he was quite slow through the final corner there. I don't know. Seems alright now. So after last week at Bathurst, which is arguably the most difficult circuit on the calendar, I've really not been able to get comfortable here at this short little layout at Road Atlanta, finding it far too easy to push a little bit too hard and either spin up the rears there coming out the chicane or clipping a curb somewhere and spitting myself into the wall. So just trying to hold this position, not take too many risks, is going to be the name of the game, really, I think. As I say, we've had not a great week so far. I think Richard perhaps is struggling a little bit. His qualifying time is a fair bit quicker than myself and Sam, but he's not really pulling away particularly these opening laps. Whereas Matthias there is scampering away already, and they had pretty much identical qualifying times, I think. This little short layout of Road Atlanta is so fast. As unlucky to Sam, I just see in my mirrors that Sam Kumo's disappeared, so he had a bit of a moment through the first half of a lap there, which really now takes the pressure off completely from anyone behind. So I really do just need to focus now on bringing it home. I had a good opportunity in the first race in this exact same situation, really, where I wasn't expecting to be able to keep up with the leaders in front, but had a nice big gap to everyone behind, and I still managed to throw it in the walls. So let's not repeat that again. Just try and stay with Richard as long as I can, but just got to make sure we finish without incident. I think I was in the middle of saying about just how crazy fast this track does feel. We've got the slow chicane coming up here and turn 3, which is pretty slow, but the rest of it is pretty frantic really. Pretty bumpy in places as well, especially in the transition between the short circuit and the long circuit. This is a 25-minute race, of course, as normal. Can't remember how many laps it is we're expecting, since I've not managed to actually complete a race so far. I think it was 29 or 30 laps maybe, I think 30. So here's this bumpy transition between the two tracks. Since the first race when I binned it in the wall, I've made the setup just a little bit safer, hopefully, trying not to encourage too much oversteer through that bumpier section in particular. Probably at a cost of a little bit of time, but so we haven't got the pace of the two in front anyway. Turn 3 here is very, very tricky, trying to get your brake point right, not lock up, not overshoot into the corner. It's easy to turn in a little bit early as well. And again, just the car wanting to step out a little bit on the bumps there through the transition. So hard on the brakes now down to the chicane, down into second. You can really cut that first corner there. Just being careful on the power out of the second one. Completely flat through the final turn. And then as we get to turn 1, it's just going to be a slight touch on the brake, down a gear, and as soon as we get to that curb on the inside, then flat on the power. Here's our tricky braking. And we took that alright. Now I'm fairly cautious on the brakes on the approach, but actually you can then tend to carry a bit more apex speed anyway. A little lift down into 4th if it will go, and again just being careful on those bumps. So I think this is going to be a pretty lonely race really, with say the two leaders definitely running quicker than I am, and already we've got a 6-second gap to the cars behind in 4th. So have a quick scan through the relative page in a second, see if we can see where my teammate Sam Kumo is, if he's still running at all. Doesn't look like it, looks like he's going to be completely out. So I'm thinking this video this week could well just be highlights of ink. Assuming I don't screw it up myself, I can't really see much happening now in the next 20 laps, so I think I'm just going to keep quiet, not point in just talking to myself really. And so last couple of corners now before we get the checkered flag. So Rich Lavery finishing a good 15 seconds down the roads. I've locked into a second with Matthias having an incident somewhere, and us seeing Sam Kumo disappear from our mirrors early on the lap. But after the first couple of races that we had, I'll take that, I think. Congrats, Richard. Lucky Matthias goes to look at replay. Yeah, cool. So as I said, I'm sure you only saw highlights of that because middle of the race was pretty boring. Didn't really have anything particularly interesting happen at all. I think we'll want to look at, let's go through in chronological order. Let's have a quick look at where Sam first of all had his little incidents. So he managed to keep going until lap 4, so we're on board with Sam Kuma now, and it was the beginning of a lap, I remember. And I thought he was going to overcook it a little bit there, but no, all good. Going to get a little bit sideways, are we? No, all good still. A bit sideways now. I've done that a good few times in practice, coming down through that fast sequence there. Very easy to have that moment of oversteer as you come through. It was weird watching on his cockpit view with just sort of a touch of lag that we were getting sort of through the server. Felt like he was having issues rest of the way through, but no, it was just there. Right, next one to look at then is Matthias. Let's see what happened to him. He managed it until lap 25. And it's going to be any moment now. There we go. Right, so it looks like he struggled on that transition, I think, between the short circuit and the long circuit, just like I was complaining about earlier on. Yeah. Okay, good. Makes me no, not okay. Good, Matthias. Sorry. Makes me feel a bit better. But that's exactly what I did in the first race. Exactly what I did, Matthias, in my first race. Yeah, just it starts to drift around slightly around there, and as you go to correct it, it just snaps. And he had it snapped a couple of times each way, and I think I just snapped straight into the wall. But yeah, race over for Matthias there. Very tricky place to not have that happen, you know. So yeah, decidedly average week here at Road Atlanta. Yeah, we've had 2 extremely poor races, and then one, good result, second place, all good. But it's a very small field and not particularly strong things, I suspect. So let's have a look at the points, see what we have there. Out of curiosity, 128. Okay, good. We'll take that. Yeah, and decent. No incidents, so got me a good bit of safety rating after losing a fair chunk in the last couple of races. That clears a nice little chunk of my drop week that I had hanging over my points still. Good. Alright, yeah, it could be a lot worse. I may do one more tomorrow night, depending on how I'm feeling after work. But otherwise, I might cut my losses there, take that one good result after the 2 very disappointing ones. Next week in Radicals, they're at COTA, Circus of the Americas, America. Yeah, not a massive fan of that track. From a little bit of running and done in some different cars, it's real drivers in real life say how nicely it flows things, especially in the first section. I don't know, I've struggled so far. Be interesting in a Radical. We've got to be very, very careful of a couple of the curbs. Some of the yellow sort of pyramid curbs, they're going to be pretty killers, a bit like the sausage curbs at Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway, I suspect. Right, okay, so that'll do for episode 17 then. We've got a couple more episodes of this series left, I think, a couple more episodes of the season, and then I'm planning then on starting a new series involving the Oculus Rift. So that'll be good. Hopefully, a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks with a bit of luck, I might have my Oculus Rift, and yeah, get some videos up. That'll be good fun. Looking forward to that. Okay, cheers, guys. See you later.